Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi. So, for this video, I'm going to explain in a simple and straightforward, and most importantly, non biased way if she was going to do a good job as the new Prime Minister of Japan. Okay? So, now that I mention that, let's get started. So when it comes to Sanae Takaichi, the first female prime minister of Japan, there's been a lot of hype around her, a lot of talk that she's gonna be this great leader who's gonna lead Japan into this new future and yada 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 and all that type of stuff. And when it comes to this particular question, the question that obviously comes up, realistically versus hype, is will she do a good job or not? And my simple answer is no. She's not going to be a good prime minister. And let me explain why. Okay? Without any biases, of course, being attached because she's a right winger and I'm not a right winger. Okay? So let me explain the reason why I don't think she's going to do a good job. Is because the reason why I don't think she's going to do a good job is she's just in another prime example of every stereotypical right winger, and not just right winger, ultra right winger we have seen in the past, 10 or so plus years or something. 10, maybe slightly less than 10 or more than 10, whatever. You get the point. Around 10ish years, okay? We see this with Boris Johnson. We saw this with Jair Bolsonaro. We saw this you know, with a few other people, for that matter, and of course the most prominent one, who's not fucking fixing anything, you know, when it comes to the most important issue that's facing the nation, inflation, Donald Trump, and all those type of people, for that matter, is that these ultra conservatives are just simply not going to fix the things that they claim. Okay, all they're going to do, like we saw with Boris Johnson, Jair Bolsonaro, Georgia Maloney, you know, you get the point. Is just a classic case of deflection. Let's blame someone else instead of actually dealing with the nation's actual issues that it's been having for a long time. Okay, that is the truth of the matter about these people, these ultra right conservatives. And Sanae Takaichi is no different. She's just going to be the same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. You've heard a million fucking times before. Okay, I'm not going to hide my words. She's just going to do the same shit that a lot of those people have always been doing. Okay, it's nothing new, nothing different, just the same old, 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 same old. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, to explain my point in further detail, is that look at all the issues Japan has. Okay, there's a few issues that Japan has that are major, major issues that literally threaten the survival of the nation. First and foremost, the Japanese people are overworked. And because they're overworked, they're stressed out. Okay? Japan is considered one of the most unhappiest nations in the world. Okay? People in Japan are extremely unhappy. And as a result of that, okay, there's a high suicide rate, you know, related to that, aside from the first one, which relates more to mental health. But the second one relates to, suicide because a lot of people are committing suicide, whether it could be the stress of school, work, or, of course, you know, when they enter the workforce, they're committing suicide at a massive rate. Thirdly, the biggest one of all, they're not having children because they are so overworked, okay? There's three main issues Japan has, but all of them can be added up to the fact that they're overworked. And that's not even including the other main issue that they have that should also be mentioned. It's also a massive one too, is the price of living, which in Japan is ridiculously high. The price of living is ridiculously high. And that's what I'm talking about right here. Those are the issues she should be dealing with. Why doesn't she focus on that? Why does she focus on maybe having a more realistic, you know, um, work schedule for the people of Japan? Instead of making them work like 12 hour per day, why can't they work a shorter period of time? in Japan for that matter. Okay, and that's what they're not willing to. She's not willing to do. Like all these other people, they're just simply grifters, just selling you a dream, but not actually solving a problem. Because the truth of the matter is, let's keep it real though. Okay, who the hell needs to work that hard? Like looking at Japan for that matter, most of the jobs people do in Japan are basic, you know, pretty much manual labor jobs for that matter. Pretty much, you can say that, okay? All they consist of is just things that require just a lot of, work, like answering phone calls or, working in a retail store where you you know, just sell things to people. Why the hell do people have to work as hard as they do in Japan, for that matter? Okay, like the amount of work they do is just ridiculous. Like, who needs to work that freaking hard?